That's another sign of the revitalization happening in downtown Corpus Christi. A new nightclub will be having its grand opening this weekend. This, as the Downtown Management District is now looking to the public for ideas on how to make use of the abandoned buildings that are still there. Our Bill Churchwell joins us now with the update. Bill?
Well, we are finally seeing some of those old and unused buildings getting some new life to them as developers set their eyes on the downtown area.
Kind of an old New Orleans feel, leads up to our dance floor. You know, we'll have 5-6 tables sitting right over here. Really good DJ, good light system.
Business owners Lee and Amy Nowak took one look at this building on Chaparral Street and saw its potential.
A lot of cleaning, a lot of painting, a lot of staining.
The couple is taking this space, which has sat vacant for about the last 5 years, and are transforming it into a new downtown hotspot called Voodoo Nightclub. They gave me a tour ahead of their grand opening this Friday.
We're real excited for, our open day and, the future of Chaparral Street in downtown Corpus Christi.
It's that excitement that is a part of a growing movement to revitalize many of these vacant buildings. And the Nowaks aren't the only investors who see an opportunity here, thanks to incentives and grants through the city.
Rebel Toad Brewing, The Exchange, Urbana, Bus, Goldfish are some of the new businesses that have opened up in the past few years.
Alyssa Barrera is the executive director of the Corpus Christi Downtown Management District. She says there has been success in getting these buildings occupied and is hoping to continue the momentum.
We have some ideas of things that we want to see, but there may be things that we haven't thought of.
This weekend, an event will give the public a chance to tour 10 other vacant downtown properties, like the old Collectibles and the Woolworth Building. An effort to get ideas on what you would like to see those empty spaces developed into.
Following the tour, we are going to be pursuing some new business opportunities with some investors and brokers.
And that tour will take place on Saturday, June 9th, starting at 9:30 in the morning. We'll have additional information on our website at KIIITV.com. By the way, Voodoo Lounge is one of 3 businesses set to open on Chaparral Street in the next 6 months. Joe, back to you.
Bill, thanks very much.